In this video, I'm going to share with you the different ways we play small in our finances. You're going to learn 5 ways that you can stop playing small in your finances and really get the results that you need to achieve your financial goals. My name is Yvonne, and the goal in this channel is really personal growth. So if you want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button to level up. You know, the way we play small is really through allowing fear to stop us, which shows up in many different ways, like procrastination and avoidance, imposter syndrome, and that leads to regrets. The way we stop playing small is by choosing differently, taking action, and upgrading our self-image. And you know what? Sometimes it takes getting angry. It's easy to let fear stop us from achieving what we want to do in life, and that's how we play small. Just last year, I hired a business coach to help me take my business to the next level. And I'm going to be honest, it was a large investment, and it was more than I planned to invest in myself. In fact, that particular course cost me about $10,000. But then along with the fear that I had was a sense of excitement. It was like a message I was sending out to myself about how important it is to prioritize myself and my dreams and goals. And it really sent a message that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the skills and the mindsets and the results that I need and that I want for myself. So in this case, it was building a business. I learned a lot in that course, by the way, but most importantly, I learned that it's not about the money. It really never is about the money. It's the experiences. It's who we become in the process. That's the important thing. See, the thing is, you're always going to make money back, but what you can't take back is the time you're going to waste and trying to figure things out by yourself, and the frustration of trial and error. You see, life gets to be easy, and you get to have the support you need if you allow yourself the opportunity to do that. So sometimes it does mean, like me, stretching beyond what we think we're capable of. Okay, so I had to get creative and find ways in how I was able to finance my investment in myself, you see? So in those cases, I had to dig deep and ask myself, what is this fear revealing about me? What's this fear and apprehension of holding back, okay? Of not seeking ways to achieve this for myself, for my children, for my family, okay? Generational changes really takes one decision, one choice, and that's to invest in yourself. You can be that change, right? So I had to really dig deep. So what is it going to take to get beyond the fear? That's another question I had to ask myself. Sometimes it just means you're not ready and you're still going to do it, okay? You're not completely ready, but you're just going to jump in. Okay, sometimes that's what it takes. So, it reminds me of my son in his swimming classes. In fact, this week, so after this video, I'm going to go to the pool and go watch him in his swimming classes. So my 2-year-old son, he's going through swimming classes this week, and we're moving into this new house soon, so it has its own private pool, and I think it's important for him to learn how to swim. So I scheduled, private swim lessons for water safety. The first thing the instructor did when he shows up on Monday is he asked me, what is Luca's experience with swimming? And I said, well, we bob around in the water and we hold him and we walk around and we, play and have him kick around. But he asked me this. He said, has he ever been fully submerged in the water, like his whole head underwater? And I looked at him like, no, of course not. Absolutely not. That'd be too much. I'd be too afraid to have my son dunk in the water. Well, sure enough, guess what was the first lesson in swimming? You guessed it. They said, ready, set, go, boom, and they submerged him all the way in the water and right back up. Oh my gosh, my heart stopped as I saw my son getting in the water and then coming back up. But you see, he was fine. And what the instructor said was that his instincts kicked in and he was able to hold his breath underwater and then get back up. And then after they dunked him, did that a few times, then they practiced swimming, holding his breath under the water to get up to the steps. So successively every day, they get progressively, have different activities to increase his skills. But you see, the only way, if you really think about it, that my son's going to learn about water safety is by getting under the water and getting uncomfortable. You see, Luca was crying because he didn't like it, and at first, right? But now, guess what? He's already swimming. He's already swimming by himself. He would never be able to swim by himself underwater unless he first took the plunge and someone was there to help him get through that first plunge. So the same thing with you. Where are you afraid and fearful to take the plunge in life? Where are you standing on the sidelines of the pool, right? Imagine yourself standing on the sidelines of the pool and just really being afraid and just not jumping in, okay? Staying in the sidelines of life, playing it safe. You know, fear can be paralyzing and it shows up through avoidance, imposter syndrome, and unfortunately, there's regrets. Let's talk about the first one, procrastination and avoidance. Let's go a little bit into the neuroscience here. So we understand how the brain works and why we avoid and procrastinate. That makes us fearful. When I learned this, it was a game changer for me because then I was able to get myself out of the procrastination and see it for what it is. And that really was powerful for me because I can call it out and it gave me the ability to change it. You see, this is where knowledge is power. So just stepping back, understanding the human brain and how it works will help us to get beyond our procrastination, okay, and where it comes from. Helps us identify ways that we can get around it, right? So there are three parts to the human brain: the reptilian brain, the limbic system, and what's called the cerebral cortex. The reptilian brain is the part that controls our basic automatic functions like maybe breathing, eating, heartbeat, and that's where the fight, flight, or freeze response comes from, is that reptilian core brain. So just above the reptilian brain is what's called the limbic system, and that's the seat of emotions, feelings, and memory. And it's actually part of the brain that interprets whether something is good or bad. And then the third part of the brain that goes kind of above all that is called the cerebral cortex, and that's often called the executive function, or the rational and the logical thought and language sits there. So when you set an intention that you want to maybe, let's say, save more money, get on a budget, or do these types of things, get in a routine for these things, the part that sets that goal is the cerebral cortex, okay? The executive function, that rational and logical part of your brain. But guess what happens? When you feel stressed, fatigued, or threatened, there's a flood of stress hormones that triggers your reptilian brain to kick into gear, okay? To take action and protect you. So it understands the chemicals, okay, which is emotions, right? Emotions is this chemical response. It's flooding your body with all this cortisol, stress hormone. Okay, your reptilian brain kicks in, okay? And then it protects you through these one of three things: fight, flight, or freeze. Now the kicker is when this rush of stress chemicals is released, it also shuts down that cerebral cortex, or the executive function, the rational part and logical part of your brain. So at the end of the day, this is natural biological, and it's a protection. Say if you're running from a hungry lion, you're able to focus on the function of the body that's needed to get out of there, right? But the reality is we're not running from hungry lions in this modern age, okay? But the hungry lion response is kicking in. There's no real fear or danger, okay? But what's happening is our thoughts and beliefs are the source of the anxiety and stress. You see, it's not the lion, it's your thoughts. It's your beliefs. That's the lion. So in order to stop procrastination and avoidance, we need to ask ourselves, what are the thoughts and beliefs that are causing this anxiety and stress? Okay? What's the lion in my life? Right? What's the lion in my life? Okay? So once we fix that root cause of procrastination, these thoughts and beliefs, by getting to the bottom of what thought and what belief is causing this, then we can change that root cause to think more resourceful thoughts, and then the behavior will follow. You see? The second piece I want to talk to you about is imposter syndrome. So despite all of people's achievements, many successful people experience imposter syndrome. And that's because they've prepared for their accomplishments physically by doing the work they need to do to accomplish their goals. But what they fail to do is to prepare themselves mentally. See, essentially their self-image of themselves doesn't align with their external accomplishments. There's a disalignment, a misalignment between the internal world and the external world. So they don't feel worthy. They don't feel that they're worth it, and they don't feel good enough. Okay? And they're never gonna feel good enough, and they're never going to feel worthy if they don't spend the time, okay, if we don't spend the time to do that inner work, to align. So you won't feel the happiness and joy when you don't feel worthy of it. And you'll always seek something else to satisfy that craving, inside of you, to feel worthy. And that's the kicker here. Is once you get that thing, once you accomplish that thing, I'm going to feel great when I get this degree, when I get this certification, when I get this job, when I get this amount of money, then I'm going to feel great. But here's the thing, you don't feel good when you get that thing. And you still don't feel worthy, you still don't feel good enough. So then what happens? You create another goal. I'm going to go chase after this other thing. If I get this new thing, this new house, right? This vacation, these shoes, this bag, then I'll feel good. But no, what you're chasing after is this sense of worthiness inside. And no amount of material things is going to make you feel that way, okay? There's never going to be enough job titles or certifications or degrees that's going to make you feel good enough or worthy. It's an inside job. So you've got to rewire your old beliefs into new ones that are more supportive so that you're fully aligned at your core. That's what you want to do. And see, what happens is regrets. If we're not able to overcome our fears and conquer these fears courageously through facing ourselves, okay? And then we're going to live a life at the end of the day with regrets. You see, the biggest regret that people have on their deathbed is not what they did, it's what they didn't do. So think about that the next time you've got an opportunity that's right in front of you to take, okay? Some dreams and goals that you have in your heart, deep in your heart. You've got your opportunity to do something different and experience something different in life. Don't leave this world with your gifts still unwrapped. Don't leave this world with your gifts still unwrapped. Don't do that. And the way we stop playing small is by choosing differently. Taking action, upgrading our self-image, You know what? Sometimes it means getting angry, being okay with getting angry, and setting financial goals. And we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about the first one, choosing differently. I want to start this part with a quote by Joseph Campbell that says, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek." So to get to the next level means entering an unfamiliar cave. It can be scary. Let's say you want to increase your income. That means a lot of times increasing your job title, increasing your responsibilities. And maybe you don't feel that you're prepared or ready for it. Taking on new responsibilities, sometimes we talk ourselves out of it because we say, oh, we don't have enough time. Well, a lot of times that's not true. More often than not, it's that we're afraid to enter the unfamiliar. Okay? So it takes really making different choices. By default, that means getting out of our comfort zone. Okay, making different choices. Let's talk about the second one, taking action. You've got to take action and act in spite of your fear. And that's going to help you because as you take one step forward each day towards your goal, you're going to see that there's nothing to be afraid of. Many times the goal seems like a lot, but the best way to tackle this fear is by chunking it down. Break it up into bite-sized activities. Right? So for example, if you want to save for an emergency fund, what you want to do is take it into bite-sized chunks. Maybe you say, I don't have enough for an emergency fund, but you see that you do have just enough for that treat, every week. You go out for a cup of coffee, okay? Maybe it just takes the cup of coffee, the cost of a cup of coffee, where you choose, instead of doing that, just make your coffee at home and you take that amount and you save it, okay? And you save it and you save it. Sure enough, you'll get that $1,000 emergency fund. So if God forbid your car breaks down, you're not dipping into the current expenses and slashing the food budget or slashing budget for your kids or other things that you need to take care of. You've got that, set aside to handle these little things that come up, right? So chunk things down, take things, one step at a time. But at the end of the day, here's the thing, take action. Because when you take action, it builds momentum. You see, maybe at the beginning you're like, oh, I can't save for an emergency fund. There's not enough money, You're closing yourself. But once you take action and you say, no, maybe I can save for that cup of coffee, what happens, you're going to see, is you find other areas that you can, shave off and continue to put into your emergency fund. So maybe saving $1,000 can sound like a lot in the beginning, but as you take these baby steps, you'll see it gets easier and easier, and you start seeing new ways of accomplishing your goal. But that's only going to happen if you take that first step, okay? Those other new ideas don't live in the mindset that you are right now. Those other new ideas live in that mindset beyond your point. So you got to trust, put faith that taking action is going to take you there where you want to be. The third point I wanted to bring up is upgrading our self-image. To upgrade our self-image, it really begins with upgrading our thoughts and beliefs. It's got to start there. A lot of times when we as women, we want to upgrade our self-image, what do we think? Oh, I've got to get a new bag, new shoes, new haircut, new makeup, new clothes, maybe new car, upgrade my house, upgrade my capsule wardrobe. But do you see the theme here? We're always looking externally. How many videos are out there on upgrading our self-image, and they're all external? Well, you know what? That is not going to bring lasting results. Because again, if you don't change your inner world, your outer world's not going to change. And you're going to continue to self-sabotage. Because you don't believe in your heart of hearts that you're worthy or that you're good enough or that you're aligned with what you have on the outside. See, what you've got to do is work on the inside. And when people say they do your inner work, that means starting where your actions begin, the core of the action. okay, the core of everything around us, to be able to align with that, to have this wealthy and abundant mindset, if that's what we want to see that in our external world, it's gonna take ensuring that our thoughts and our belief systems are actually upgraded. So once we do that, then it's going to be very, very easy, okay, to see these things in our external world. But you can't seek on the outside and then assume that the inside's going to change automatically, because it doesn't. And then it's so much easier to lose what we have because we haven't done the work on a spiritual level. See, the thoughts and beliefs. Can you see your thoughts? Can you see your beliefs? You can't, right? That lives in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual level. So that's why things have to start in the spirit, okay? And then they become manifest and reflected in our outside world. So our outside world is just a mirror. It's just a mirror of what's going on inside. So if your outside world is not reflecting what you want, okay, and the outside world is your mirror, then that's an opportunity for you to look inside, look at yourself and say, okay, what thoughts and beliefs have to change for me to see something different reflected back to me, okay? Now, the fourth point I want to talk about is getting angry. Absolutely, getting angry. Anger has its place. I know, especially for us women, we want to suppress that anger. And by the way, suppressing any emotion doesn't make it go away. It ends up getting lodged in our body. Our body keeps the score of all this anger and trauma that we experience at an emotional level, and that's reflected in it's materialized in disease, right? Autoimmune issues, hair falling out. The other day I was going to the gym and I saw there's a new place that popped up, and they're talking about all these symptoms, including hair loss. And a lot of people are experiencing hair loss these days, and they wonder why. And then you got to ask yourself, how is the level of stress and anxiety in this world these days? They don't want to make that correlation, but there is a correlation between our emotions and what's happening in our bodies. So we want to be careful of that, but I digress. What I'm talking about here is a healthy anger, not the anger that's coming from the negative, although it does sometimes. But anger does have its place. Anger is an emotion that was created, and we have the blessing and ability to experience anger because it could be effective if it's used wisely. Okay, yes, you can use anger wisely, and it can be used like a tool. See, anger is like a knife. It can be used to cut your delicious steak dinner, right? Delicious dinner. Well, you need a knife to cut through that steak. So it can be used for good things, or that same knife can be used for harm. So it really depends how we use it and how we funnel this anger to support us. So, it really is about how we use anger. So anger can be a catalyst for change. If you think about it, a lot of changes that you've made in your own life is because of anger. It's when you have had just about enough. I am done with this relationship. I'm never going to be treated like this again. That's it. And that's what it takes a lot of times to walk away from maybe a toxic relationship, right? So same thing with so many other things, even in your finances. Maybe you've experienced an emergency that has really, really affected you, or maybe you lost your job and you didn't have enough savings, or maybe you didn't even have savings. And you promise yourself that you're never going to be in that situation again, ever again. Because you've had enough of living that way. You've had enough of living paycheck to paycheck. And then guess what? That's the catalyst for you to start a savings account. That's what it took. That's what it took, But you were able to funnel that anger into something productive, okay? And what that really means is you have made a different choice for yourself. When you make a different choice for yourself, sure, it took anger, fine. But the ultimate reason for things to change in your life is because you changed your your choice. You made a different choice for yourself, okay? Through that anger. So, for example, we live in a nice, right now I'm filming in our 4-bedroom home. It's comfortable here. But we were outgrowing this home. There was nothing really motivating us to look for a new home, but we did start feeling uncomfortable. Like the garage is starting to fill up, and the garage is really overflowed with stuff, that we need. It's not like it's junk. We are always clearing out the garage, clearing things out, but it gets to a point where we need more space. We need more space for the kids to run around. We're not seeing that here. But it was one of those things that we wanted to work through, but not important. It's not until we got fed up with a few things that we saw happening in the HOA where my husband and I were like, you know what? Enough is enough. We're going to find another home. Okay? So guess what? Now we found the home. Okay, a couple weeks back, we found our dream home, and we're going through the negotiation process, and we're looking to close in the next few weeks. But as I think back, there was a gift in the anger of being upset at the HOA, right? That was a gift, because that allowed us to take our anger and really made it be the catalyst for a choice, okay? And that choice was, we're gonna go ahead and call a real estate agent and get some homes lined up to take a look at them and find our dream home. I've had the vision board. I'm literally pointing at it. I've had this vision board for quite some time on my desk. But it really took anger, really healthy anger, to be able to choose differently and say, let's do this. And so now we're going to be moving into our dream home very, very soon. So I'm really excited about that. So we need to get into gear and take the action necessary to finally get out of our comfort zone. Okay? Now, that's what it takes. Get out of your comfort zone. We're going to have a private pool now that we're able to enjoy, with the kids and the family and stuff like that. So again, think of ways in your life, things in your life, financial goals that you are procrastinating on or avoiding because you're in that comfort zone as well. Okay? And how can you use being just fed up with that situation, okay, as a ground and a catalyst to finally make that choice that you've not made thus far. Now, the fifth thing you're going to want to do is set financial goals. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I'm sure you've heard this before. And it's very true. You see, set some financial goals. Maybe you want to save more. Well, how much and for what, right? How about getting out of debt? What does your debt look like? And how much debt do you owe? And what's the plan to get out of debt so that you can clear the path for other things? Maybe you want to increase your income, right? By how much? Maybe in your current career, as a working professional, or as a business owner, right? Challenge yourself so that you have more options in life. And set goals to invest, to build real wealth. Maybe you're looking to build generational wealth. There's a scripture that says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, right? And so that's a good thing, to invest, to build generational wealth so that you leave a legacy and your family continues to grow, right? In abundance and wealth and more options ultimately in life. So they are not feeling burdened and limited because of finance. You don't want that for your kids. You want better for your children, don't you? So if you want better for your children, then you want them to have more options. Like I'll give you an example. For me, with our kids, I don't want them to be burdened the way I was with all of this debt in college. Okay? That's not fair. To start off life with thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. Okay? At the very least, that is my gift to my children. Okay? And so we've already started in terms of the type of fund that we want to be a vehicle to make that happen. Things to think about. So I really want you to sit back and take notes across these areas. Okay? What are your financial goals to save more? Write those down. What are your financial goals to get out of debt? What are your financial goals to increase your income? And what are your financial goals to invest to build generational wealth? Okay, so those are the four areas I want you to look at as you build some very clear financial goals for yourself. Okay, so in conclusion, the way we play small is through allowing fear to stop us. And that shows up through procrastination and avoidance. It also shows up with imposter syndrome. And it leads to regrets. And the way we stop playing small is by choosing differently, taking action, upgrading our self-image, and getting angry, using it as a fuel and a catalyst to choose differently. Building your financial mastery is gonna take deep inner work so that your behaviors align with what you want in your mind, body, and spirit. Okay? You want to be aligned at your core. That's why I've designed and created my signature money mastery program. Traditional personal finance education tends to focus on facts and numbers, and that's fine, but not when it ignores the inner work, the mindset, the behavior, and the transformation you're going to need to build lasting results. It's more than just creating a budget. It's creating a lifestyle to build and keep wealth. So if you're ready to invest in your financial education, this course is for you because it combines getting the full picture of personal finance and really helping you to create a personalized financial action plan. And this program is really curated especially for women who are ready to upgrade their mindset for wealth. See, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not for everyone. Okay? This is an exclusive experience for high-achieving women that are committed to their transformation to really get out of debt, save more, increase their income, and invest to build generational wealth. This exceptional and unique program is really going to support you and having the peace of mind that comes from having an action plan for financial freedom. So if you're ready to live a life of financial prosperity on your terms, click the link below in the description box to enroll. Also, check out my Goals Mastery program if you feel the need, maybe for some clarity in life. This course is going to help you to get clear with what you want in life and help you identify and define and align with your vision, mission, and goals in life. And that's across all areas of life, really. Okay, so that's a good place to start. I would highly recommend that course because that's really gonna tee you up for success. It sets the foundation, if you will. It's also really great to have inspirational and motivational reminders to keep you moving forward towards your dreams and goals. So click on the link below to choose your favorite custom designed gift for yourself, family, or friends in my online merch store. This I have here is a t-shirt, also from the merch store, and this cup, the Doodle Heart cup. So these are two custom designs that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. Click on the merch store to find your favorite color and size. So I want to encourage you to click on the link in the description box below to go ahead and enjoy your shopping. So If you've enjoyed this video and want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button to level up, and I'll see you on the next one.